Yeah, so today we're not shooting with the Arri Mira, it's over there. We're not shooting with any of the other cameras, and we're not shooting on a vintage lens. Today we're shooting on the Sony G Master 1.4. Yeah, it's 50mm 1.4. It's kind of new, it's super easy, super nice on a gimbal. But that's not what this video is about. As you saw in the intro, and as you saw probably in the title, I haven't titled this one yet. It's gonna be about this one. Let me see if I can get it in focus. Come on. Yeah, perfect. It's gonna be about this one. Also, please get in focus. Yeah. Close enough. And it's gonna be about this one, the Mir. Yeah, that one seemed to be in focus. Yeah, okay, so as the title said, there's always a lot of talk about the Russian Helios, the King of Bokeh, the Jupiters, the Mir, and that they all look in a very certain way. And yeah, they do. They're amazing lenses, they're super cheap, they're super easy to use. But usually when I see people using them, it's just for short, very fragmented stuff, or photos, or, some dreamy, touchy video. So I was thinking, could we use this in a wedding? Could it actually be viable, to go a full wedding without autofocus? No, I sound like a really lazy guy, but maybe like the last 2 or 3 months, I've only shot in manual focus because I've got my Leica Rs, I've got these ones, I've got the Takemars. So I'm really comfortable in shooting with manual focus. I think it looks better because when this one goes, to switch to another focus, I don't know if it's going to do that now, but let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, it was pretty smooth now, but when autofocus fails, it can go like, well, if you're a videographer, cinematographer, or video guy of any sort, when autofocus is missed, it's not very fun. And when you miss focus with one of these, with a manual lens, you just kind of miss the focus by a little bit, and then you can pull back, so it looks more natural, since it's all, what do you say, mechanical, kind of. So yeah, we decided to try and shoot the wedding on manual lenses, and we shot it on this, the FX6, and we shot it on the Arri Mira. I was mostly doing the Arri, whereas Mika was doing the FX6 pretty much the entire time. And yeah, well, I'm gonna put up some sample footage. And as you can see in this sample footage, it's got a very organic feel to it. It's sharp. This one is actually color graded a bit with the enhancer, and I will talk more about the enhancer in another video because I'm gonna do a review and test about it. It's an amazing tool actually. So more about that. But yeah, as you can see, I'm switching now in between the Sony and the Arri camera. They both look. Try to grade them so they match each other, which shouldn't be an issue. Also, this voiceover is recording now when I'm not watching the clips, so that's why I say it shouldn't be an issue. Anyway, the clips, it's all shot handheld. It's all shot on either the Helios, the Jupiter, or the Mir. And yeah, I kind of like the results. And even when the day progressed, as you can see here, when it's a bit more dark, it's still sharp and it's still easy to pull focus. But that can also be thanks to the amazing quality of the low light in the Sony FX6. It didn't look too good, like standing here the last time, so I learned from my mistakes and I put it under here. But yeah, so the Helios, what is it? Why does everybody love it? It is this one, yeah. So as you can see, this might be. Oh, I really need to practice on this. As you can see, it's a very small lens. It is for a full frame body. Works perfect on Super 35 and APS-C as well. It's made in Russia. Actually, it's made in Soviet because it's a pretty old lens. It goes from anywhere in between, I don't know, $50 to 100, 200, depending on if you want it modded, what condition it is in. And it's about the same with the Jupiter. It's actually a bit more expensive, and it's this is an 85 millimeter Jupiter. This is a 58 millimeter, and then you have the Meade, which is 37. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, it's a 37. But yeah, so it delivers. You know, if you shoot wide open, it's not super sharp. It's very soft, especially the Jupiter. You can't shoot it wide open. I made a video way back, you know, a long time ago when having it wide open on my Sun, and it's not very sharp. But if you stop down just a bit, it's delivering also this magical bokeh because it's got so much compression. And with this, it's got kind of, like everybody says, a swirly bokeh. So when you look at the bokeh, I will also post a video here of my Sun in front of a bush. And here you can see, as you saw in that video, the bokeh in the corners is very swirly. Yeah, I think that's the term actually. And yeah, so using this on a 10-hour shoot on the Arri Mira and the Sony FX6, we had two Helioses actually. It was very smooth. I thought it would be harder than it actually was. I was using a follow focus, just super simple follow focus by hand, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, from small rig, and it's so easy to operate this lens. So I can definitely be like every other human being on YouTube talking about this lens. I could definitely recommend it to you. Yeah, I can. If you want to learn manual focusing, I'm not going to talk from, oh, it's such a great and lovely picture point of view. I'm going to talk from the point of view of getting into manual focusing and kind of upping your video game that way, because manual focusing demands that you kind of frame it differently. You might have to be a bit more steady on the hand, all those small little things. And the more you practice on it, the better you're gonna get, and the more fun filmmaking is gonna be. I had a stint not very long ago. Yeah, okay, it was actually quite long ago because I'm a bit older now. So yeah, a few years ago when I started going into film, and I got the Sony A7S III, amazing camera, but all I did was relying on autofocus all the time, you know, tick, 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 autofocus this, autofocus that, and like at the end of it, it kind of took away the joy of making movies for me. Like I was burnt out is the wrong word, but like I didn't do anything else and just, you know, start the camera and wait for, you know. And that's not very funny. So that's how I actually started to get into vintage lenses and manual lenses, just to see, like, okay, is this fun? What can I do? And then I really liked it. And then after a while just using vintage glass, I was kind of back on the autofocus track. So I think like too much of the goods is too much of the goods. Yeah, I could have probably phrased that better, but at it is now, like I'm shooting this, as I said, on autofocus lens, and it's super handy. Autofocus is amazing when doing interviews, when doing you know, fast run and gun stuff when you need it. Whereas I really love doing this. My last vlog was on a Tacomar with manual focus, and I was actually contemplating on doing this vlog on some size glasses that I actually picked up in Amsterdam the other day when I was there for a job. But yeah, it fell on the autofocus because I just wanted the simplicity of it for a while. And yeah, so can you shoot a wedding on full manual? Yeah, it's no problem. It's actually really fun, and people usually tend to have an understanding of like, oh, can you please move there? Can you please move there? Because it's the exact same if you're doing the autofocus. Autofocus can miss, and you need to, you know, do it as well. And yeah. Okay, so to summarize it, very short, very easy. I've shown you some pictures. I'm gonna show you some more pictures here now from the wedding, and we'll see what you think about it. So yeah, here are some more. It's not a final edit because I haven't even started. I'm just, you know, browsing through clips that I kind of like to see what kind of feeling I want. But here we have some. As you can see, yeah, I love the feeling of these lenses, the Jupiter 9 and the Helios 44. So Jupiter 9 is an 85mm, the Helios 44 is a 58mm. It's a bit, you know, confusing with the names, but anyway, they deliver a clean image, a bit soft, but that's also the kind of dreamy vibe that we were going for in this wedding. And you can also stop it down a bit more to get it even more sharp. But yeah, so I definitely recommend. Well, I'm gonna be like everyone else. Like, I recommend everybody to have one of these because they're so super cheap, they're so easy to use, and they're adaptable to pretty much any camera. And it's a super nice lens to have to train, to practice, to become good at manual focusing and framing. I still have a long way to go. To finish up, I'm gonna put up some footage now with the Helios, both on the RE and the FX6. I don't think that I'll necessarily crop in, so you might be able to tell the difference with the full frame and the Super 35, but otherwise, I'm gonna put a camera A and a camera B. And then we'll see in the comments, can you guess which one was Sony FX6, and can you guess which one was the RE? And afterwards, no, put your answer here in the comment section. You know, be the first to comment or start commenting on this video. And yeah, so here it goes. Okay, did you get it right? The camera A was the Sony FX6 and the camera B was the RE. And in all their fairness, I think they both look super great. The thing with the RE though, it is just so amazing right out of the box that you barely have to do nothing with it. Also, the Sony FX6 is super nice. Everything was shot in either RE Log C and S Log 3. S Gamut C Free Cine. So both were shot in log, and they were both, you know, handled the same way in DaVinci Resolve. But yeah, so they are both extremely competent cameras, and then I think it comes down to portability. I mean, the FX6, like you saw in the last video, I could hold it like this, and then taking the RE, I mean, it's not a super small camera, and this is without the lens, and then you kind of need to put it on like this. I mean, it gets quite heavy during the day, but yeah, it also looks badass, to be honest. But yeah, the RE is a fantastic camera. It's, like I said, it's a bit big, but it's built like a tank. I feel very safe when coming to a gig with it, even though it's manual focusing and all those things. I just love it because I know that the imagery I'm getting out of it, it's amazing. But yeah, otherwise, a small little update. Like I said, I was in Amsterdam the other day. Ran across this little set. Yeah, it's the Distagon 28 2.8, the RAJ coding. It's the same as the Distagon 35 2.8, and then it's the Planar 50 1.4 RAJ coding. So I'm gonna do a small video of that coming up soon when I actually try them out in another situation than alone in the office. So we'll see who will be joining me for that. Probably my son or Line or Flippa. No idea just yet, but we'll see. It's gonna come up at least. That's the way it is right now, and I'm gonna do the video, like I said, on de-hancer. I'm gonna have a friend come here to help me out. I think I'm not quite sure yet, so let's see about that. And till the next time, yeah, just keep topics coming, because I haven't been doing this for a very long time, and I need all the help I can get. So yeah, thanks guys. Cheers.